Welcome back to Pitch Practice Episode 3, where I, Adam Kirk, your host, help you break down the foundations of the sale and help you simplify the overall process. Today's video is the very first video on a 12-video series regarding the 12-step straight line system that was created by Jordan Belfort, also known as the Wolf of Wall Street. Stay tuned to this video because each of these steps played a key role in Jordan Belfort growing one of the largest companies on Wall Street. The 12-step straight line system. When Jordan Belfort was first getting started with his team, he needed a way to communicate his strategies and tactics that were allowing him to close and lock up so many sales. However, his team just wasn't understanding. So he came up with this 12-step straight line system that helped them allow to fully grasp the concept of exactly how to take a client from the open to the close and everything in between. Jordan Belfort constantly is referring to every sale as being the same. Now, to most, and including me at one point, this didn't make any sense. There's different industries, different price points, and different products. However, once you start to understand the fact that the sale isn't about the product or the price point, but instead a relationship, that's when you can fully grasp this concept. Once you begin to understand that each sale is the same, all based off of the relationship between the buyer and the seller, based in trust, communication, and overall rapport, you can then move into the straight line system, all beginning with step 1, taking immediate control. Now, in order to properly execute the first step of the straight line system, taking immediate control, you need to understand the importance of the following points. Number 1, the handshake. I've talked about in previous videos how important the handshake is and how it can oftentimes make or break a sale. The handshake is the first point of physical contact with the customer, and it must be done right. A proper handshake includes a firm grip, eye contact, a smile, and a tone that is welcoming. Something along the lines of, "How you doing, John? Thanks for coming in today. Did you find us all right?" Properly executing the handshake will lead to immediate trust and rapport with the customer and will oftentimes drop their first guard of distrust with you. Number 2, body language. It's important to be aware of how you present yourself. This tactic should not only be used in the sale, but in your day-to-day life. The way you carry yourself often leads to people perceiving you as whether they trust you or not. If your customer is waiting for you and you come out of your office with slouched shoulders, eyes down, and possibly seeming unattentive, this is oftentimes going to lead to an unhappy or uncomfortable customer. When approaching your client, you want them to feel welcome and as if they're in the presence of an expert on the product that they're about to purchase. When someone feels like they're in the presence of an expert on the product that they're interested in, it's oftentimes going to drop all their distrust with where they're at and will prevent them from shopping other competitors. Number 3, similar to body language and the handshake, it's important that you understand your tone, that you're self-aware of how you're talking to them. Like I've talked about in previous videos, the tone also will play a key role in how they feel about you. If I approach them loud and obnoxious, or possibly shy and reserved, either way it's going to tip their level of distrust with me and put me in a situation where I just don't want to be. When approaching the client, similar to a great handshake and your posture, you want to seem present with them. You want to seem welcoming and approachable, based off of how you speak to them and how you speak about the product. The correct tone that you want to use is seeming present in the moment and overall a professional in your field. To get a better understanding of what kind of tone I'm talking about, here's a short example. "John, thanks so much for stopping in today. I really appreciate your time and for you to come out. Let's go ahead and jump back to my office and talk a little bit more about what you're looking for." Notice how my tone is present, it's with them, and it's professional. A proper tone will oftentimes come off as friendly and welcoming. Step 4. Now, before we get into step 4, let's refer back to exactly what we're trying to do here. We want to take immediate control of the situation. Now, once we've established the tonality, the handshake, and the body language, it's important that right from the get, we begin building that rapport. So it's important that as we're walking back to the office or wherever you're taking them, it's important that you ask simple questions that are going to help build rapport. Some of these simple questions might be along the lines of, "How have things been lately? Did you find our location okay?" Or even little things like bringing up the weather or what they did last weekend. Little questions like this, where the customer answers you, will begin to build their trust and almost take you on more as a friend than as a salesman, so that by the time you get back to your office or wherever you're going to talk about the product, you've already built a level of rapport and taken immediate control of the situation. Step 5, one of the single most important tactics of them all. Now remember, once again, we're here to take immediate control of the situation. Once you've established your body language as professional, you've taken that handshake and used it to your advantage by showing them that you're there and present, that you use your tonality to seem welcoming and approachable, and of course, building immediate rapport as you're walking back to the office. It never hurts to add a little bit of service in there. The well-known Grant Cardone often says that service is senior to selling, and this is so true, and you'll see it in each day of your sales career once you begin to offer little bits of service to your customers. Doing little things like pulling their chair out for them, asking them if they would like a beverage, or simply asking them if they're comfortable will go a long way and show them that you're not just there to sell them, but you're there to build a relationship. This will not only break down the barriers of distrust with your customer, but will immediately play a key role in the relationship between you and them, both short-term and long-term. Now, a quick recap on how to take immediate control of the sale, taking the responsibility out of the buyer's hands and into our own. The way we do this is by establishing that firm handshake, presenting ourselves as a professional in our field with our body language, making the customer feel welcome with our tone, building immediate rapport, and finally, offering a level of service to the customer. Once you have done each of these 5 things and taken immediate control of the sale, it sets you up in the right direction to close that client and build not only a short-term sale, but a long-term relationship that will have them coming back to you over and over again for the same experience that they got the very first time. So there you have it, my 5 tactics on how to execute the first step of the straight line system by gaining immediate control of the situation. Go ahead and hit that chime bell so that you guys are notified when I launch the second video of the series, where I'm going to be talking about step 2, how to gain massive information from your customer and providing the proper needs assessment so that you can match them up with the right product. Thank you so much for watching today, you guys. I appreciate your time. If you guys haven't subscribed yet, please do so. And if you guys found some value in this video, or at the least entertaining, please go ahead and leave a like below. If you guys haven't joined my Facebook group yet, I'll leave a link below so that you can join the pitch practice community and help other sales representatives get better together.